It ain't over till it's over. I'm Rob Colias, he's Jordan Helly, and this is the Maui News Sports Report. Maui High School's resurgent football season rolled on as the Sabres beat Baldwin for a second time in a season for the first time since 1998, dropping the Sabres' magic number to clinch their first state tournament berth in 14 years down to 1. Kamehameha Maui won its first game in 14 months, 34-13 over King Kekalike behind the play of senior quarterback Chase Newton, who had 327 yards of offense, 4 impressive TD runs, and he played well on the defensive line as well. Quarterback, defensive lineman. And Keelan Evelico, the Baldwin sensation, who is now a redshirt freshman at the University of Hawaii, scored his first career touchdown in UH's 38-28 win over Wyoming. But Jordan, we have to start with history Friday night at War Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, it's been a great year overall in the MIL on the football slate. Lahaina continues to do what they do. They had last weekend off, but Maui High definitely taking the headline. Sweeps rival Baldwin for the first time, as you mentioned, since 1998, when Keone Nicole was the feature back in the Curtis Lee led Sabres that year. On the verge, as you mentioned, of returning back to the big dance. Only been in the state tournament once in school history, which is kind of surprising when you think about all the success they had. But remember, the height of the Curtis Lee era came just before the advent of the state tournament in 1999-2000, the only berth the Sabres have ever had in the state tournament, right on the verge of getting back there. And it was just a great performance, and I think peaking at the right time are the Sabres, a dominating victory over Baldwin. It was a close game in their first round matchup, but they really dominated this one. Onosai Emalio, the main ball carrier, 9 carries, 134 yards for that Sabre rushing attack. A number of guys, really a stable of backs, but Onosai Emalio, the only one over 100 yards, just wore down that Baldwin defense. And then defense for Maui High, really the key factor in that ball game. Coach David Bowie, they've pointed to the defense as being stalwart, kind of the key for that team all season long. Held Baldwin to 14 total yards rushing. Remember, the Bears came in with the leading rusher in the league, and Keenan Lewis had been on a roll running the football. But Maui High's defense, led by that front 6 or so, was just standout, and they're peaking at the right time heading into the final weeks of the regular season with 1 foot in the door heading into the state tournament.
The defense, the Vainikolo brothers, Onosai Emalio only carried the ball 9 times, ran for 134 yards, but he does a ton as a linebacker on defense. That defense, Tyson Takabayashi, just everybody, the linemen especially, were very, very impressive. They held Baldwin in check, they got on top, and they forced the Bears to throw the football, which was exactly what Maui High wanted. On Saturday night, another very special evening, Kamehameha Maui gets its first win, as we said, in more than a year. Jordan, you're the offensive coordinator for Kamehameha Maui. Congratulations to you, but I'm going to say a couple things that need to be said. Chase Newton was just unbelievable. He played on both sides of the ball, as we said, defensive line, quarterback. Couldn't be stopped late. He had 147 yards on the ground, 180 passing. Joshua Hiwatashi, his incredible season continues. He had 12 catches. He now is 62 on the year. That breaks the MIL's single-season record of 55, held by Akamu Aki of Baldwin. He did that in 2002. And give King Kekalike a lot of credit, too. This team has been decimated by injuries. They were playing with just 27 players. They played hard. They played without their leading rusher, Kavika Akahi. Their leading rusher on the night, La'Akea Day, went down after just 1 carry in the second half. He finished with 80 yards. But Kamehameha Maui coach Cody Nakamura, as he's holding his little girl, 2-year-old Evelyn, in his arms, told me a great quote. He said, "One thing about these small schools up here on this hill, we are going to battle until the end, no matter what the score is, no matter how much time is left," and that's really true.
Yeah, and it's just turned into a fun rivalry to be a part of, and I think a lot of credit goes to Coach Kyle Sanchez and that King Kekalike staff you mentioned. Just 27 kids suited up. It was an absolute battle, and it was a throwback kind of fun game where a handful of guys on both teams never came off the field, and it was just a fun game to be a part of. And again, a lot of credit to King Kekalike battling throughout the year.
7-point game with 9 minutes left to play. As we said, Keelan Evelico, give this guy the football.
Yeah, every time he touches the football, an explosive play seems to happen, but he doesn't get it all that much. Scores his first career touchdown for the University of Hawaii in their first conference win of the season. Now get their second win of the season, sit alone at the top of the Mountain West standings after that first victory. But every time he seems to get the football, something good seems to happen in the return game or carrying the football, even in the pass game. And Rich Miano even said it, the color analyst for OC Sports on their television broadcast. They said they need to find a way to get this young man the football because he is so dynamic.
And couldn't agree more. Girls volleyball this week, big week in the MIL Division II ranks. 2 unbeaten teams left, Hana and Seabury. Friday night at the Erdman Athletic Center up country in Olinda, big match there. Saturday night back in Hana, and I guarantee you the Dragons gym is going to be rocking that night. The MIL tournaments take place next week, and I believe that the Division I tournament is wide open. And Jordan, some other action in the MIL this week.
Yeah, 8-man football kind of winding down here, second to the last weekend, taking place this past weekend. Molokai clinches the number 2 seed in the postseason tournament with a 42-21 victory over third place Hana. Seabury Hall also clinched the top spot in Division II heading into the postseason. Lanai St. Anthony Kihei Charter round out the standings in that descending order. And coming up this week will be the final weekend of regular season action for 8-man football as they get set for the postseason tournament to take place the following week. Last 2 weeks of MIL play in 11-man football as we wind down. Friday night, Maui High goes up to Kinke Kaulike to take on Na'ali'i. Saturday night, homecoming for Lahaina Luna, a game that was originally scheduled for Sukuli Stadium, will be at War Memorial, though, against Baldwin. And remember, a Sabres win or a Baldwin loss will clinch a state berth for Maui High.
And in a really exciting outrigger canoe race, the World Championship of Outrigger Canoe Racing, 4 Tahitian teams finish in 1 through 4 spots. The top spot, EDT Va'a won, beat defending champion Shell Va'a, who's really dominated this race. They won by 16 seconds. That's in a 41-mile race. And oh, by the way, the first Hawaii finisher, Lani Kai of Oahu, the first Maui finisher, another top 10 finish. Wailea Team Primo finishes 6th. And those are all Maui guys. And that's a report for this week, and send us your bobbleheads.